Session 1 is designed as a warm-up or cool-down for a day's biking. Session 2 is designed for days or seasons when you can't bike, but you want to keep your muscles conditioned for riding. You should begin each practice with this pranayama or breathing exercise, which is designed to bring awareness to your diaphragm and increase your lung capacity. Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Completely relax your body. Straighten your spine and relax your shoulders. Breathe through your nose if you can. Place your hands around the bottom of your rib cage. This is where your diaphragm is located, the muscle that controls your breathing. Inhale and feel the breath expanding the bottom of your rib cage. You should feel your hands moving away from the center. As you slowly exhale, gently contract your abdominals, squeeze around your diaphragm, and expel all of the air from your lungs. Inhale again, expanding your diaphragm and now also your rib cage. Slowly exhale, gently contract the abdominals, and feel your hands moving back into the center. Again, inhale, fully expanding the diaphragm, rib cage, and now take the breath further up and broaden the collarbone. Slowly exhale, gently contract the belly and squeeze the diaphragm as it contracts. Continue. Inhale completely from the diaphragm up to the collarbone. Slowly exhale and expel all of the breath. When you become familiar with this exercise, you can relax your hands at your sides. Continue this exercise for 3 to 5 minutes, then take a few normal breaths before your asana practice. Let's begin session 1 in Tadasana, mountain pose. Stand with your 2 big toes together and your heels slightly apart. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed between your 2 feet and within each foot. Resist locking your knees by pushing forward slightly from the backs of your knees, and then strongly engage your leg muscles. Extend your tailbone down, lengthening your spine upward. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and relax your lower rib cage. Feel your breath expand and contract your diaphragm. This pose will improve your posture and strengthen your legs and back. Interlace your fingers behind your back and we'll do some exercises to stretch out the rib cage. A flexible rib cage will allow more oxygen into your lungs on those uphill pulls. Inhale and stretch out the front of your rib cage by lifting your breastbone and dropping your head back. Exhale and release. Now interlace your fingers in front of you and stretch the back of your rib cage by inhaling and rounding your back. Release between the shoulder blades. Exhale and release. Now extend your arms over your head. Press down strongly into your feet. Release your tailbone down. Extend your spine tall and press up through the palms of your hands. Release your shoulders down away from your ears. Release the front of your rib cage down. Now exhale as you bend to the right, releasing your right arm down and keeping your left arm above your ear. Relax your neck. Feel your breath stretching the intercostal muscles between your ribs. Inhale and extend through the left arm to come back up to center. Again, interlace your fingers above your head, lengthen your spine, and exhale as you bend to the left. Drop your left arm and keep your right arm above your ear. Release your neck. Feel the stretch in the intercostals and the side waist. Inhale and extending through the right arm, return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Pressing evenly into your feet and keeping your leg muscles strongly engaged. Put your hands on your hips and bend forward from the hips as close as you can to 90 degrees while still keeping your back straight. This half forward bend will begin to stretch out those tight hamstrings. Be careful not to go too far too soon or you will hurt your back. Now bend your knees and place your palms on the mat directly under your shoulders with your middle finger pointing forward. Step your feet back into down dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana with your feet hip width apart. Press strongly into your hands and slide your arm bones deep into the shoulder sockets. Press the shoulder blades into the back. Lengthen through the torso. Lift your sit bones up and release your heels toward the floor. This pose will strengthen your wrists and shoulders and stretch the back of the body, particularly those tight calves and Achilles tendons. Now step your right foot up between your hands and bend your knee at a right angle for a lunge. Press through the back heel, keeping the back leg straight. If this pose is too strenuous, you can drop your back knee for a low lunge. Lift your torso and place your hands on your hips. Press your tailbone forward. Lift your left hip bone and extend from your pubic bone up toward your breastbone. Engage the left leg muscles by contracting them tightly around the femur. Keeping the muscles active as you stretch develops strength as well as flexibility and also strengthens the joints. Release your hands back down to the floor and push back into down dog. Now step your left foot up between your hands and bend your left knee to 90 degrees. Press through the back heel, keeping the back leg straight. Again, if this pose is too strenuous, drop your back knee for a low lunge. Engage the right leg muscles by contracting them tightly around the femur. Lift your torso and place your hands on your hips. Press your tailbone forward. Lift your right hip bone and extend from your pubic bone up toward your breastbone. Breathe evenly. Release. Bring your hands back down to the floor and push back into down dog. Walk your feet up to your hands for another forward bend. If your back is not straight, bend your knees to protect your back. Look up, inhale as you try to make your low back concave, and come back up into mountain pose. Next we'll do triangle pose, Trikonasana, to strengthen and stretch your low back. Step your feet out about 4 feet apart, turning your right foot out 90 degrees and your left foot in slightly. Make sure that your right heel is in line with your left arch. Press down evenly into both feet. Strongly engage your leg muscles and extend your arms out at shoulder level and engage your arm muscles. Exhale as you release your hips to the left and extend your torso to the right. Keeping your torso in a straight line, release your right hand to a prop, your leg, or the floor. Extend your left arm upward. Open your chest forward by rolling your right ribs forward and your left ribs back. Gaze at your fingertips and breathe. Avoid hanging into the right leg by pushing forward from the back of the knee. Inhale and extend through your left fingertips to pull yourself back to upright. Now turn your left leg out 90 degrees and your right foot in slightly. Make sure your left heel is aligned with your right arch. Press evenly into your feet and engage your leg muscles. Exhale as you release your hips to the right and extend your torso to the left. Keeping your torso in a straight line, release your left hand to a prop, your leg, or the floor. Extend your right arm up and gaze at your fingertips. Lengthen from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Resist collapsing by rolling your right ribs back and your left ribs forward. Resist hanging into the left leg. Inhale, extend through your right fingertips and come up. Exhale, turn both of your feet forward and step back into Tadasana, mountain pose. Now step your left leg back 2 to 3 feet, keeping both feet pointing forward. Press evenly into both feet and strongly engage your leg muscles. Take your hands behind your back and press your palms together with fingers pointing up. This will stretch out your hands, wrists, and forearms from gripping the handlebars. However, if this is too intense, especially on your shoulders, simply grab the opposite forearms with your hands, or you can just bring your hands to your sides. Now bend forward at the hips, keeping your spine straight and making sure not to collapse the front of the body. Extend from the pubic bone to the navel to the collarbone and lengthen the back of your neck. This is Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. As you can feel, this pose also stretches the hamstrings and calves. Inhale and come up with a flat back. Return to Tadasana. Now step your right leg back 2 to 3 feet, keeping both feet pointing forward. Press evenly into both feet and strongly engage the leg muscles. Take your hands behind your back into your preferred arm position. If your hands are in the prayer position, press the palms together to stretch the chest, shoulders, and forearms. Exhale as you bend forward at the hips, keeping your spine straight and making sure not to collapse the front of the body. Extend from the pubic bone to the navel to the collarbone and lengthen the back of your neck. Breathe and release the hamstrings. Inhale and come up with a flat back. Return to Tadasana. Next is Natarajasana, dancer's pose. For this pose, you may need a chair as a prop. This pose is not recommended if you have had a recent knee injury. Take your weight evenly onto your left foot, bending your right leg behind you and grabbing the outside of your ankle with your right hand. If this hurts your knee, your quadriceps are tight and you can rest your foot on a chair behind you. Now take your left arm in front of you and gaze at your fingertips. If you want to go further into the pose, lift your right leg as you press your shin back and into your hand. To prevent compression of the low back, press the tailbone forward. Keep both hips squared to the front. If balance is too challenging in this pose, use a wall or a chair for support. Exhale and release, releasing your foot back to mountain pose. Now take your weight evenly onto your right foot. Bend your left leg behind you, grabbing the outside of your ankle with your left hand. Take your right arm in front of you and gaze at the right fingertips. If you want to go further into the pose, lift your leg as you press your shin back and into your hand. Keep the hips squared to the front and press your tailbone forward. Keep the weight even in the right foot. Breathe evenly and maintain balance and ease. This pose counteracts the biking position by stretching the front of the body. It will also improve your balance. Exhale and release back into Tadasana. Take your feet hip distance apart. Place your hands on your hips. Exhale and bend forward at the hips for another Uttanasana, forward bend. Keeping your back straight and your spine long. Only go as far as you can, keeping a flat back. Extend the sit bones up and the tailbone down. Keep your head in alignment with your spine. Enjoy the stretch in your hamstrings and calf muscles. Bend your knees and take your hands to the floor, returning to down dog, making sure that your hands are shoulder distance apart and your middle fingers are pointing forward. Now bring your weight forward over your hands for plank pose. Your back should be flat with no sag in the butt or chest. Draw your shoulders deep into the sockets. Lengthen your tailbone back and your spine forward. Breathe evenly. These poses will strengthen your wrists, shoulders, and core. Keeping the elbows in, slowly lower into Chaturanga Dandasana with your entire body just off the floor. If this is too strenuous, you can drop your knees to the mat. Breathe. Release down to the floor. Turn your head and rest with your arms at your sides. Now place your forehead on the mat and bring your hands beside your chest with your fingers spread wide and pointing forward for Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Now press your tailbone toward your pubic bone, pressing your pubic bone into the mat. Inhale and lift your body off the mat using your back muscles and rolling your shoulders back. Now push into your hands to continue lifting as far as you can comfortably. You can rest on your forearms or go further. If you feel any pinching in your back, you've gone a bit too far. Press your shoulder blades toward your chest, opening your chest. And keep pressing your pubic bone down into the mat. Breathe evenly. Exhale and come down slowly, lengthening the spine one vertebra at a time. Turn your head to the other side, bring your arms down by your sides and relax. Now bring your hands back by your chest with fingers pointing forward and press your butt back toward your heels for Child's Pose, Balasana. Take some deep breaths and release the low back. Come to all fours and bring your right knee up between your hands for Pigeon Pose, Ekapada Kapotasana. Slide your right foot in front of your left knee with toes pointing outward and keep your right knee pointing directly forward. Straighten your left leg behind you and make sure the whole top of your foot is on the floor, with the top of the leg facing down and both hips are facing front. Supporting your weight with your arms, lower your pubic bone down to the floor until you feel a stretch in your left hip flexors, the muscles on the front of your hips. If you need support, place blankets under your pelvis. To lengthen the spine, press the tailbone forward. Roll the shoulders back and press the shoulder blades into the back, opening the chest, and gaze up. Breathe deeply. Now exhale and fold forward over your front leg. Enjoy the release in your right hip and butt. Breathe. Inhale and come up, returning to all fours. Now bring your left knee up between your hands. Slide your left foot in front of your right knee with toes pointing outward and keep your left knee pointing directly forward. Straighten your right leg behind you and make sure the whole top of your foot is on the floor. The top of the leg is facing down and both hips are facing front. Now lower your pubic bone down to the floor until you feel a stretch in your right hip flexors. Resist compressing the low back by pressing the tailbone forward. Open the shoulders back and press the shoulder blades into the back, opening the chest. And gaze up. Breathe. Now exhale and fold forward over your leg. Enjoy the release in your left hip and butt. Breathe. Inhale and come up, returning to all fours. Sit back and drop your left hip to the side, coming to rest on your left buttock. Place your right ankle on top of your left foot. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale and turn your torso to the left, placing your right hand on the outside of your left thigh and slowly twisting your body to the left. Maintain a long spine. Roll your left shoulder back, broaden your collarbone, and gaze over your left shoulder. This is Bharadvajasana or Rishi twist. Now look forward and exhale as you slowly untwist. Come up onto your knees and drop your butt to the right, placing your left ankle on top of your right foot. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale and twist to the right, placing your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Maintain a long spine. Roll your right shoulder back. Broaden your collarbone and gaze over your right shoulder. Breathe. Now look forward and exhale as you slowly untwist. You will need a strap or belt for the next pose, Supta Pada Gustasana, reclining leg stretches. Straighten your legs in front of you and lie back. Stretch your legs out straight with muscles engaged. Placing the strap across the ball of your right foot, pull your leg up as far as you can without bending it. Let the head of the femur drop deep in the hip socket. Now release the right leg to the right as far as you can without pain for a stretch in the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. Inhale and return your leg to vertical, then to the mat. Release your leg muscles. Now let's do the other leg. Engage your leg muscles. Place the strap over the ball of your left foot and lift the leg as far as you can without bending the knee or causing pain. Release the head of the femur deep into the hip socket. Now taking the strap into your left hand, guide your left leg to the left as far as you can go without pain. Inhale and return your leg to vertical, then to the mat. Now finally we get to release into shavasana, corpse pose, the relaxation pose. You should do this relaxation pose for 5 to 20 minutes. Release your leg muscles. Relax your belly. Relax your chest and your shoulders. Relax your neck and your face. Feel the floor supporting the weight of your body. Become completely engaged in the breath and let it carry you into a state of complete peace. As you are taken away to complete stillness. As you are taken away to complete stillness.